What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Amka Podcast. Oh man, I was scrolling down on my social media and I saw this powerful motivational page that the guy he's talking about how powerful and how great it is to raise a child because if we put on our thoughts like so many people were raised in a different way, we all been raised in a different way, and I saw this and I'm like, I need to share this with you so that you, like, in the future you have your children and you can know how to raise, like, the steps of raising your children. So let's dive into it directly, and let's hear what the guy actually he's saying about what's the stages of raising a child.
Five, all the way over.
Just hold on. Okay, this is all right.
When you're raising a kid, there are four seasons.
So when you're raising a child, there is four season actually. Like the biggest step of raising a child is four season, right? Let's hear number one.
Zero to five, that's where you're just teaching them discipline.
All right. So we've been talking about discipline. As myself, I grew up in a family where, like, we were Muslim, and Muslim families, man, they are very disciplined. And whatever, whether you like it or you don't like it, Muslim people, they are like super disciplined. You're gonna learn Quran by force, either you want it or you don't want it. You're gonna go to madrasa. I don't know about Christians, and that is building faith. When you are growing up instead of other people, you are not really like forced to read about to learn about the Bible. That's a huge difference. All right. So what your parent is telling you to do is it's gonna be a must, not like by choice. Because remember, at the age of 2 to 5, you don't know anything. And um I'm not judging, but I can see so many people, they were misplacing the fact of disciplining a child at this time and being friend with a child at this time and guiding a child at this time. Like, it's being misunderstood and misplaced in some wrong ways, and this is why discipline should be a key to start to raise your child, your children with. And that's why I saw this thing is kind of important. That's what I'm going to bring up to my podcast so you can see. If you have a share, if you have a thought, drop the comment below there and let's have a discussion and let's elaborate and let's see how can someone overcome something that it has been misplaced or misguided by him, right? So the number one is it is discipline. Like from 2 to 4 years old, you got to implement that discipline.
Five, all the way over to about 12, that's where you're training them.
Okay, so he's saying like from 5 up to 12 years old, that's where you are training your children. That's where you can train your child. Like, when we're talking about training, I think you can train people in a different way. All right. So me personally, when I'm discussing this topic, it's probably more about training is training. If you go to, like, you trying to read the dictionary or trying to discover the word training, it's like the synonym of education, right? Training is like a kind of different and it's kind of heavy. So when you're talking about training, you really need to specify. You really need to know what are you going to train your child or your children with or of, you know. So, like, from two, because a kid can think about 2 years old, she can think or he can think. From 2 to 5, you tell them this is right, this is wrong. You can keep on telling them at the older ages, so that they know exactly, if I do this, daddy said this is wrong, and if I do this, mama said this is right. All right. And then from training, you started to show them some things that they can do in their life. I think, I don't know, you tell me, what do you think he's trying to say here about like 5 to 12? That's where you can train them, because training is really vast, and then it's has a lot of sense.
12 to 18, that's where you're coaching them.
All right. Uh 12 to 18. That's where you coaching your kid. Like 12 years old, puberty, teenager times up to 18 years old. Like that's where you coach them. And remember, at this age, it's super super hard for a teenager to understand things, you know what I'm saying? And I think at this age, you should be like, be a little bit I'm not going to say rough, but you should not emancipating someone, because some of the people came from the family that they used to be emancipated, like they are not really given the full freedom of doing things. Like, once again, like me personally, I came from a Muslim family, and not everything was allowed to do, you know what I'm saying? And then at that age, you could see like your parents, they are after you so much, and that can cause trouble to children. They can be forced, because of the fear, they can be forced to go in a wrong way. And because they are just afraid of their parents, and then they go to hang out around with the people that they can influence them to do some wrong things. And they follow their friends ways, and they are going to be lost. So I think, from 12 years old up to 18 years old, you should be telling like the kid, the children, you should be telling them the truth, even though they don't care enough, because it's all based with age and time. You should just be keep on telling them the truth and implementing a little bit of discipline, because coaching someone at that time, yeah, I'm not really saying it's impossible, but also it's might be happening, but it's going to be a little bit difficult. So discipline should be also playing a huge role over there. Friendship, for moral boasting, and also coaching. So you keep on implementing all those strategies, discipline, coaching, and friendship at that time, because they need to know like somebody got my back. They need to know that I'm not doing the wrong things, and they need to know like somebody can coach me so that I cannot do wrong things at this age, because that age, it's super crucial, bro. Like it's really crucial. All right. um, let's hear another one there.
18 and over, that's where you're their friend.
This here, I am not really disputing this, and I could see so many parents, they were talking about this. If I read the comments, like I'm gonna get the chance to read the comment right below, and you see what people were talking about this. Because for me, I saw one of my uncle was very rough when we were kid, and then I mean, that guy was very tough. But at the end of the day, I just came to understand that he wanted the best for us. When somebody is criticizing you sometimes, or somebody come to you and telling you the right thing in your face, that doesn't mean they hate you. No, it means sometimes because they want the best from you. But as we are human beings, as it says in How to Win Friends and Influence People, human beings are very fragile. If you tend to criticize them, they will be paralyzed. So I'm not really bringing up the options of criticizing people or pointing finger. I used to do that. Please, guys, Forgive me. Like praising someone, it's the best way to unleash the best out of them. And I think being showing somebody some value, some if it's really important to the community, is the best way to appreciate, to show them appreciation. And they will feel very appreciated. So being friend with someone at that age of 18 or 18 and over, it's still going to play a major impact for them. And also, that's the time of really coaching, of really mentorship, because at that time we're trying to face life. You know, we face life. I mean, you finish your high school, you're going to university. I mean, you started to see the world in a different way. Some people can get pregnant, some people can unpregnant, think some other women, some people there. I mean, you're just trying to see life in a really different angle. You are not a child anymore. You are a grown up humankind, and you started to thinking about what the people they were telling you when you were a child, what your parents, your teachers, and everybody what they were telling you when you were a child. So at that age, it's really crucial for somebody to be guided properly, and for someone to be led and to be shown, to be coached the best way. And most of the time, it's tend to not be that case. You know, we came from some community that we never had books to read, and then at that time, that's how we started to discover things. We we never watched everything we wanted to watch. I mean, it's just like it's pathetic. Let me. It's just like that, bro. Like it's crazy sometimes. Let me try to read some comments here below. If you have a thought, drop it in the comment below, and I'm not gonna hesitate to share or to respond to it. Let's see what people say. Uh, this is Sarah Blossom, and she said, "Faith, love, safety, trust are built from zero to their lifetime. Some folks will view this who didn't have a healthy parent and focus on the discipline. The definition of discipline is, in my opinion, a dangerous scale for an individual who was abused as a child themselves to the set with their own children. Some folks from that trauma could take this advice literally, the 0 to 5 discipline only. Man, it's kind of crucial because, like I said before, this it you cannot just base everything on discipline. There is moment for everything. There is time for discipline, there is time for coaching, like guidance, there is time for friendship. But I think discipline should be implemented when it needed to be. You know, when you're showing a kid the wrong things, the good things, and they don't want to admit it, I mean, you should be trying to sympathize with them, and trying to show them in a good way. So you just combine both, like everything that it needed, so that they can understand. Unfortunately, some parent they kind of like soldiers, and some parent they are very fragile. And this is lead me to this comment this brother here said, nocturnal, something like that. Pretty sure most black and colored parents are hard stuck in that 0 to 5 phase, which is 0 to 5 phases, which is discipline. Like black people is more about the culture. That's what I'm going to say. Like there is cultures and taboo and stuff like that. So we tend to not give our family member, our our kids the right to be themselves. And this is not only applying to black people. I'm just going to correct that, not from colored people. This is being applied for everybody. I will give you an example. Like a parent who's a doctor will always want to be his child to be a doctor. I mean, I don't understand that thing. The destination of your life is not your child, your children destination. Your purpose in life is not your the purpose of your children. I mean, everybody has his own star. Everybody has his own belief. Everybody has his own direction. Everybody has his, I mean, his own understanding. You know, this is not only applying to black children, to black parents, or white parents, or whatever black or whatever race. But I'm pretty sure, like for African, talking about, if we talking about um African, for me personally, I know it's a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to respect the culture, and the respect of culture come with that discipline. If you go to Japanese, it's like that. If you betray what they playing, I mean the yakuza, they will cut your hand. In China, in Saudi Arabia, if you have sex with under 18 years old, I mean, maybe some parent that can hang out their children. You know what I'm saying? It's not only about black people. This is not personal to the black community. It's also being implemented all over the world, because um, you came along and say that no coaching, no leadership. I do agree. At that age, like I said before, we never had all the materials to implement to coach our children, especially Africans, South Americans, and some of like Asians countries. No leadership, only obedience. That frame phase doesn't even exist to them. You are properly an investment. I feel like it's mostly white parents that make the mistake of being too much of a friend with their kid. You can, I mean, you can kind of see it in your friend groups when you are young, and all these differences in the household dynamic came up. I don't know. Do you agree with this comment, or you don't agree? Let me know in the comment below, because uh I see like the best thing I can say, once again, it's not about white, it's not about black, it's not about whatever Chinese, Indians, and color. It's all about how people grew up. If your father grew up I mean, shown so much love, he's going to implement that thing on you, to you. If your father was a therapist, he's gonna implement that therapist character, therapist mindset. If your father is a pastor, man, they will want you to try to be a church guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this once again, it's not only about black people, it's not only about white people, bro. But all I do understand is some kids were born privileged, and that privilege made them soft. If you don't agree with me, drop in a comment below, and we're gonna discuss about it. I understand like many people were born soft, and by being like that, you think that their parents became so much of that friend phase, which is, it might be the case in some case, but really not every time it could be the case. And that's a huge mistake. You should love your child. You should love, I mean, everybody around you in your family. And you should, when it's time to talk, you should tell people the truth. You should tell people the right thing. If it's gonna hurt, I mean, just tell them in the right way, yo son, man, it doesn't work like this. It's like this, you know. You can't do this, you can't do this. I mean, just keep on telling. I mean showing. It doesn't really need to be rough, but you need to show some love and appreciation, as I said before. It's hard because, I like I said, for me, I've seen a lot of people were raised undisciplined. Some people grew up without love, and this is affecting our relationships. Some people grew up with traumas and all those kind of things, and this is becoming a huge thing in your life. You don't know where you can stand, you don't have trust, you don't have discipline, you don't have like I mean, you don't believe in people, you don't I mean I mean, you just don't have a lot. You don't have the leadership mindset, you don't have that kind of sense of humor to other people. And this is big. If you were raised like that, and if you're watching this, please trying to know how to implement things on your on the new generation. And if you were lack of discipline, you didn't grow up with both your parents, because it's kind of hard for for one parent, single parents, to do all these things to his children. I mean, when you grow when you are being raised with mothers that will actually mostly show you so much love in just word, like that thing of discipline is going to be hard, because it's kind of natural. Men tend to be more uh, of that sort of discipline era than female in the family hold in the household, so if you're watching this, please don't forget to hit the button subscribe. um, if you are subscribed to our channel, please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you cannot miss one of our episodes every single time I do upload. If you have thoughts, if you have ideas, share them in the comment below so we can know what we can do and what we've missed. All right. And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.